Okay, so I just entered in my password, just stopping for a couple seconds because there's no way for me to do it without entering in. So anyway, entering in the password, and I'm entering in create the documentation to see how easy it is to create a Google Drive. You do not have to verify. It's a superficial means. It's a means of federal stalking. It's monitoring on a communication device, and by monitoring I mean not only is it essentially a means of the ability to create a Google Drive. And it's a superficial means. You, in your ignorance, would assume, oh, I guess I don't have a phone number in order to create it. Oh, shucks. I'll have to do something else, or it's a malfunction or something. Oh no, Google must be having a problem because I've never used this cell phone number before. So how could it possibly be used too much? Which is a means of restricting the ability to create because of the inability um, to use the phone number that the prompts on the screen, which is what on a screen uploaded. I have relevant to justice, not to create a Drive account. And this is what it does as it creates in the elements of this psychopath that is a star. So while you are enforcing and to stop enforcing while they're on the internet, remember the people are doing that. That's very psychotic, very very psychotic, which is the pattern of conduct. There is no need or phone number, and so communication that I do not also not a reason to it's only doing um, either the engaging in a pattern of uh, monitoring cell phone and doing means that excuse me both and creating this superficial obstacle and also not doing based on the criminal conduct that I'm subject to because my cell phone is subject to the ongoing monitoring by the state. Interruption of internet connection, and which is again affecting the streaming and whatnot. And the entity is engaging in. So I just want to show you here. The entity is engaging in what is, as I turn on this communication device, one that I don't ever use. I only use it to create the Google Drive accounts. Period. Other than that, I don't typically use it other than maybe to read something, but this is a tablet and it's not even the most efficient. So I don't really use it. I only use it with regard to the heavy use of internet and use of cookies and all that. All of that's relevant to what I've learned while the entity is keeping under surveillance on communication devices. The history that you accumulate, the cookies and whatnot, and all the cache and all that stuff. The less that you use it, the less that you accumulate. You keep it clear, keep it clean, and the entity is less likely to be able to interrupt. That's what I've learned by being subject to this criminal system for years. So I rarely use this. I only use it when the entity is obstructing my ability to create on my cell phone, which is regularly a minute on screenshot criminal act every time. So that I stress that. And I want to show what is, again, if it was an actual requirement, it would be identical on all communication devices. What the entity does in order to have the identical behavior on a different communication device is it will engage in the elements of monitoring. The entity is not engaging in what it has done before. And that's what it will do. This animalistic behavior, as I turn off the cell phone, let me turn on my tablet and create a Google Drive. The demons will come up, fly over in helicopter or some sort of audible activity creation. I'm pointing all of that out, documenting it step by step. The entity is engaging in the elements of monitoring in order to affect the communication device's operation. It is demonic behavior, and this is what you'll learn about the operation of internet and what's actually going on with your communication devices. How, by the way, products such as McAfee and Norton are not doing anything for what is the violation of your privacy that you do not know that you're suffering. You don't have privacy. The people of the state are terrorists, sex offenders who know your debit number. They know all your bank account information, and then you're thinking that you're subject to some random identity theft, and it's not. The entity knows who you are, and it's not some investigation that has to go underway. This is the operation of the system, and that which you're not aware of, you're just a subject to that system. And so you have what are the people of the state that go in and um, abuse the information that they have access to, that they are knowledgeable of. It's not some randomness. It's a specific criminal act within information that they're not even supposed to have based on the constitutional and federal provisions that we have. But that all of that is an illusion. It's all an illusion. Norton is not doing anything to protect your privacy on your computers and your tablets and whatnot. That's just they're selling money. They're making money off of you. They are fully aware of and still maintaining what is the all of the information regarding access to your. That's all an illusion. That's they're just products. McAfee is not protecting your privacy or access to your computer. Monitoring you is not based on any of that. Just want to point that out. And I did indeed create a Google account, and you do not need to provide any phone number, which is what I've pointed out time and time again. It is the criminal act of obstruction of justice, and that's also why you have my going from my cell phone to another communication device, and it's not requiring that. It does when the entity engages in the elements of monitoring. So some sort of method of audible activity creation, which I've documented that animalistic behavior by the entity. So obsessive, it will immediately start sounding sirens, immediately start sounding helicopter. A demon starts sounding some sort of amplified audible activity. In other words, the elements of monitoring, while they know that I'm creating another Google Drive to upload the body of evidence that is the P.O.C. And that's obstruction of justice, and it's directly relevant to how long this. And you're talking about creation of federal laws to punish federal group stalking and monitoring, and based on the evidence, you're not talking about a baseline federal prison term is not going to be 1 year or 6 months based on the pattern of conduct. The pattern of conduct is to obstruct justice. The pattern of conduct is to engage in what is terrorism. I mean, that's baseline default criminal conduct. They're not just harassing, they're terrorizing. And the pattern of conduct is to increase that terrorism while you are being exposed. This is inherent to their demon possession. It's built into what they do because of their condition. Demons do more as opposed to do less when they're shown proven to be wrong engaging in something. They do more. That's the public safety concern. This is something that is establishing what is baseline sentencing for federal group stalking and monitoring regarding time in federal prison, and it's years, not months, years. So anyway, it is currently 7:39 a.m. It's the same date. I'm going to upload this to my Google Drive, and it's. I want you to see the date as I conduct, not just me state it. Yeah, so you can see it's Thursday, June 20th, 2024. Here you go. Let's look at a calendar. So good, just so that you're clear on the year. It's June 20th, 2024, and it's 7:40 a.m. Where is the year? Hold on. Let's see. Hmm. Okay, there you go. All right, it is Thursday, June 20, 2024, just to be clear. It's even giving you my location, which again, where you're seeing the fake sun rise and set inside of my apartment and the engineered light. And I'm referencing the video documentation that I captured earlier today on June 20, 2024, revealing the demon possession and of not only the state, but the people of the state who are all simultaneously exposing and prosecuting the people of the state, and it's directly relevant to government actors such as Karen Bass, Robert Luna, uh, Dominic Choi, which is the treatment of the state of any agency, I mean, government agency that are engaging and documented engaged in terrorism. Clearly, it's going to include these actors. They're not ignorantly engaging. No employee of a company is engaging in the pattern of conduct to the ignorance of that company owner, and nor is it reasonable to contend. You've got the whole workforce exhibiting demon possession in the specific environment. And it's the same thing with these government actors. The head of the police departments, the head of the sheriff's departments, the heads of the state, if you will, the mayors, the governor. They're not ignorant. This is exposing all of them, including up to and including the California Supreme Court. All right, this is P.O.C.